BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band. Is BoogeyMan band.
Hey, my fellow freight fiends, it's your buddy BoogeyMan Ben. Hope everyone's doing well. This is a very different video than the kind of videos I typically do here. I've done a few in the past where I've talked about like vacations. I did one back in 2015 where I kind of documented my wife and our family's trip to Disneyland that year. And, just back then I was still kind of figuring the channel out. I typically don't do, anything outside of like horror or movies or books or something like that. But we had a really fun experience last week. This was on the 27th of October. My wife and I went to Fort Bragg. Specifically, we went up there because it was our 20th wedding anniversary. Our wedding anniversary was on the 25th, and we decided to take a small trip up the coast. Nothing too fancy. We got some other things that we're working on here at the house, so we didn't want to spend a lot of money. But it was funny because my wife and I had the same kind of idea. We had both been trying to figure out, like, what are we going to do for our 20th wedding anniversary? It's a big deal. It's a milestone, huge milestone. In fact, we went out to dinner on our anniversary, and the woman that waited on us could not believe we were saying that we said our 20th. I guess it's just not very common anymore, unfortunately. But it was really funny for us to say, oh, yeah, it's our 20th wedding anniversary, and she just really did a double take when we said that because it's crazy to think about. But we decided to go and do this little trip, and what was funny is that we both came to the same conclusion. I had been looking at the same thing she was looking at in terms of where to go and what to do. And there's this so in Fort Bragg there's the Skunk Train, and I knew about the Skunk Train going back to when I was a kid. And the Skunk Train has been around since the 1800s, 1885. And I remember back when I was a little kid, my Uncle Erwin and my Aunt Jo and my grandfather, my papa and my mama, they all went on the Skunk Train. I remember my grandfather telling me about it, and I was just fascinated by the name, the Skunk Train. And I just asked him if there was like a lot of skunks on it and things like that. But they were all retired pretty much at the time. My Uncle Erwin was still working, but they all took a trip up there to Fort Bragg. And I remember some of the pictures my grandmother took. But I had always wanted to go on it, and I've never been on it. So we decided to take the Skunk Train to this place called the Glen Blair Bar. It's really tucked back in the woods. It's a 20-minute journey by train. You can only get to it by train. It only runs from 6:30 at night till 10:30 at night. And there's trains in between that time that'll go back and forth between the station in Fort Bragg to the Glen Blair Bar. Pretty much 10:30 is the cutoff, and that's when the last train leaves and when the bar shuts down for the night. It was like one of the most surreal, insane experiences in terms of the location of this place. And I just wanted to document it just because it was fun. First time I've ever been on a train before outside of like our mass transit train in the Bay Area. I've been on that. I used to commute to San Francisco. But in terms of like a train trip, this was the first time I've ever been on a train in my life. So it's kind of crazy, but we had such a blast. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope everyone enjoys this video. And I'll come back with my closing thoughts, and here we go.
The journey out to Glen Blair will run about 20 minutes. Once you disembark the train and the train leaves, it'll roughly be about an hour before that train is back. We will continuously shuttle like this throughout the night. So if you'd like to leave early, or if you have friends coming late, that's all right. There's no outside liquor allowed aboard the train. So if you have any outside liquor right now is the time to put it back in your car. We will be doing bag checks, so if you have a bag, please have it open and ready for a peek inside so we can get you aboard that much quicker. speaking of quickness, if you're in a large group and you have multiple tickets, I would appreciate it if you stack up those tickets. So again, we can get you aboard that much quicker. Everybody ready to go? Yeah. All right. Holding on the deck. One line right here. One rack to Glen Blair. Oh, good.
What?
Talk about it.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Cool.
Wave to the people. I had to come out here.
I zoomed out so you have the.
Okay, so you can see it all. Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can get it. Just stay like that for a minute. It rounds a corner. I thought it would be kind of cool to get it.
As we show the one thing you'll start to notice is more and more redwood trees. That's because redwood trees don't really grow directly on the coast. Usually within that group or bunch of trees, you'll find an old redwood.
Oh wow, that's a trip. Wow.
help?
What? Did you leave? That's what I was trying to get you to do. You just stand there.
Sorry. Did it rain? Wow. This is so cool.
That was my anchor log.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be my last song for the evening. Thank you so much for letting me hang out with you. Once again, my name is John Helsap. My friends call me Johnny. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, mama, rock me. Here we go, one more time. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like a wind in the rain. Rock me, mama, like a sound.
So yeah, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video showcasing our experience at the Glen Blair Bar, which is accessible by Skunk Train in Fort Bragg, California. Was a lot of fun. Was really kind of a cool way to kick off, fall and winter. It was just and also celebrate our 20 years of marriage. We had a great time. We froze to death. I mean, my wife said she was still freezing when we got back to our hotel that night, and it gets really cold up in Fort Bragg. They're going to need to have more heaters, that's for sure, in that place, because it was cold, and this was October, and it was like a day where the weather was like 60 degrees, like low 70s, high 60s, and then that night it was like, I mean, I think by the time we got back on the train, when we were freezing on the train going home, it was probably in the high 30s, low 40s. It was absolutely freezing for California. Yeah, so much fun. I'm so glad I got to share that with people. I also had a weird, really run-in with somebody on that train who started noticing like the pins on my jacket and my ring and asking me questions about horror movies. And it was with her mother. She was from Arizona. And there was these two women that were trying to use the bathroom that was on the train car. And you couldn't, I guess there was no light in there. I guess there was no way to really shut the door well, or they couldn't figure out how to shut the door. They were inebriated. They were all drunk. And she was noticing that. And then when they left our car, they kicked the rug or like the mat that was right by the door. And she made a comment about that. And then they started asking me about, my stuff. And I started telling them about horror movies. And she was asking me about the different pins I had on my jacket. Like I had a Candyman one, I had a Strangers one, Trick or Treat, and was telling her all about that. And I have my cards from my channel, and I gave her one, and she said, "Oh, you're giving me your card? You're giving me your card?" And my wife was just completely like over it. And I just, I'm a very personable guy and very respectful of people. And I just, like I said, if you ask me a question, I'm going to be honest with you. But it was kind of a weird experience, and I don't know, it's one of the reasons why I don't like being around people that are drunk. I just feel like it's just they're not themselves, but this one was asking me like, to talk about all the various horror films that were represented on my jacket. She asked me about my Expendables ring. I was telling her about that. And like I said, my wife couldn't tell, and I couldn't tell if she was trying to make fun of me or being serious. And it was just kind of a weird situation that, finally when we pulled into the station, she was kind of nice, and I said, have a safe trip home and things like that. But it was just kind of a weird experience. And it's like part of me was like, God, it's like the fact that she recorded me like talking about these different films. Is she going to use this to make fun of me, or I don't care. But it was just a weird experience that sort of was like a strange capper to the night. But other than that, it was a blast of an experience. And yeah, we had a lot of fun and would do it again in a heartbeat. I think it would be perfect for the summertime, just because it wouldn't be as cold as it is during fall and winter. Yeah, what a great experience. And I'm so glad that my wife and I had the same idea. I hope everyone enjoyed the footage. I hope everyone looks forward to my next video, which will be on location. It's not a horror movie, but it's a movie that's very important to me. And I'm so excited to put this next video together for you guys. And then I also have a lot of cool content that I'm working on that sort of coincides with my book. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video. I am working on getting back to everybody's comments. I'm sorry I've been so bad about it, especially in the last few weeks, but I will get back to everyone because I read everything you guys write to me, and it really means a lot. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace. Hey, my fellow Fright Fiends, I just want to thank everyone for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. If you haven't yet subscribed and you'd like to, please hit the subscribe button down below. Click the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I try to drop a video at least once or twice a week. The Horror Zone is a passion of mine, and it really makes me happy that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.